What's up, my PT peeps? One Eye Bri back to talk about the Walking Dead discussion and theory video about the Scavengers becoming the Whispers. Spoiler warning, talking about the comic that may come to the show, and I don't want to ruin it for you if you don't want to know this information. So seriously, stop watching now. We're talking about the Whispers for Season 8 or even Season 9. So here we go, guys. So basically the theory is saying that the Scavengers and Jadis could become the Whisperers, and that's kind of far-fetched in my eyes, but let's talk about some possible theories of it. So if you don't know who the Whisperers are, basically Alpha is on the left and Jadis is on the right. Now maybe another person of the Scavengers becomes Alpha, but Alpha is the next villain of the Whisperers. She's bald, yes, but she also wears walker skins as a covering to blend in with walkers. All the Whisperers wear that. That's part of their camouflage to blend in with the walkers. Beta is her right-hand man, her second in command, and he is freaking huge. And that's kind of where we differ about some things of who would be Beta, who would be Alpha in the theory for it. Now, Beta in the comics is freaking huge. He would have to be 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". I would say 6'4", 6'5", even 6'6", because look how giant he is there with Negan, and it's freaking gigantic. And Negan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, is about 6'1", 6'2", so you would have to have a person 6'5", 6'6". Lydia is Alpha's daughter, and that would be very interesting to see when she comes around, because she is a huge character for Carl and should come to the show. See, there's Alpha and Lydia talking. Alpha's got the walker skin on, and that's where I don't see the Scavengers being this. We've seen hints of possible things of the Whisperers coming in Season 7, and people were like, oh my god, that's the Whisperers from the trailer that happened over the summer, and it wasn't them, but it could be, you know, an inclination of them to come. Like in the comics, it's issue 130 is where they come around, and we see them for the first time. So that would be the latter part of Season 8. Issue 130, they're around issue 115-ish, 116, took some various things of 120 even, of Season 7 finale. The main part is 136, I believe, is the Walking Dead big introduction of the Whisperers. They're introduced slightly for a first thing in 130 with a group that goes out and they encounter the group of the Whisperers, but they're not fully around to issue 136. And the show can do whatever they want. They can bring in earlier, they can bring them later, they can slow things down, they can be at the end of Season 8 and start of Season 9. They can do whatever they want. But the theory is that the Whisperers are the Scavengers later on, that the Scavengers become the Whisperers or whatever you want to think of it as. But I just don't really see that. But even though the Scavengers have a shit ton of group, they don't really interact with walkers. They have no dealing with the walkers. So I don't see that happening. But there is a large group that could turn someone in there. So it could be a member of the Scavengers to become that. Not just Jadis. Jadis could die and Brian or Taniel could die. And they could still be the initial gathering of them. And it's just a theory, but I know people are talking about it, so I just want to weigh in on it. I don't really buy into the theory that it happens, but you just think about that it could possibly occur. I don't like the fact that we already met them, and the Whisperers come around, and they do some drastic things to be introduced, you know, when they fully come around, and it's a big thing. But to be introduced already to Negan and already to Rick, it takes away from the Whisperers on there, because, you know, after Negan is defeated, then in the comics, Negan is gone, there's a time jump, there's a hiatus, and life is good, right? And then the Whisperers come around. That would negate that whole fact that the Scavengers become the Whisperers. I guess they could have that. I guess the Scavengers go away and we don't deal with it. But I just see the Scavengers as more saviors that came and helped Negan. You know, in the comic, Negan just had another group of saviors that came. He didn't have another group, just had more saviors, a larger group of saviors to do it. In the show, they brought the Scavengers in, and they're not in the comics, so we can't weigh in on what happens to the Scavengers and what they did, but they double-crossed Rick and betrayed Rick, and it's an interesting story somewhat. I just don't like the way they talk. I just don't like the way they sound. The way they dress, whatever, who cares, but the way they just communicate with each other. It's just really stupid. And the Whisperers don't do that. They're fluent. They can talk. They don't have this weird lingo about it. And for that to happen, I just wouldn't make sense. The only thing is that guy in the freaking back there is tall, massive, huge. He could play freaking beta. We need somebody like that. And a lot of the Garbage Pail Kids, or the Scavengers, or I should say, sorry, the Scavengers are huge. And see, that guy could easily be the size of Beta or someone like that, because they could cast whatever they want. They can make Beta a girl and Alpha a male if they wanted to on the show, but I think that would be dumb. They try to stick to the comic book parts and to draw it for that and to make people the connection with the comic to the show and the show and the comic. But for the Scavengers to eventually become the Whisperers, I think takes away from the Whisperers. I don't think that's a good way of doing it. Not to say that it would be stupid, but to me, it would be stupid. So I guess I do say it's stupid. I just don't think it's a good connection. I think this group had to be their own group, and then they have to move on. Some people are saying that the deal is for 10 to 12 people, that they're going to be cannibals, that they're going to be whatever. But it's interesting to see what happens in Season 8, maybe even Season 9 with these people. But I would think that Season 8 will be the last time we'll see the Scavengers and Jadis and Tamio and Brion. But what do you make of the theory, guys? Will the Scavengers become the Whisperers? I say no. Post your comments below, guys. I'm interested to see what you think about it. I don't think it makes sense. I wouldn't want that to water down the Whisperers by any means. Post your comments below. Check out the Walking Dead community page on Facebook. If you like this channel, you like the group. If you do like this channel, hit that subscribe button today, guys. Let us know what you think, and thank you for watching.